ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ। ਆਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਵੀ ਸੱਚ। ਤਿਲਕ ਜੰਝੂ ਰਾਖਾ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਤਾਕਾ ਕੀਨੋ ਵੱਡੋ ਕਲੂ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਕਾ। ਸਾਧਨ ਹੇਤ ਤੀਜਨ ਕਰੀ ਸੀਸ ਦੀਆ ਪਰ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਉਚਰੀ। ਧਰਮ ਹੇਤ ਸਾਕਾ ਜਿਨ ਕੀਆ ਸੀਸ ਦੀਆ ਪਰ ਸਿਰ ਨ ਦੀਆ। ਨਾਟਕ ਚੇਟਕ ਕੀਏ ਕੋ ਕਾਜਾ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਲੋਗਨ ਕਹਿ ਆਵਤ ਲਾਜਾ। ਚੌਪਈ। ਠੀਕਰ ਫੋਰਤ ਲੀਸ ਸਿਰ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਪੁਰ ਕੀਆ ਪਿਆਨ। ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਸੀ ਕਿਰਿਆ ਕਰਹੀ ਨ ਕਿਨਹੂ ਆਨ। ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਕੇ ਚਲਤ ਭਇਓ ਜਗਤ ਕੋ ਸੋਕ। ਹੈ ਸਭ ਜਗ ਭਇਓ ਜੈ 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 ਸੁਰਲੋਕ। ਕਾਹਾ ਬੁੱਧ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਤੁਛ ਹਮਾਰੀ ਬਰਨ ਸਕੈ ਮਹਿਮਾ ਜੋ ਤਿਹਾਰੀ। ਹਮ ਨ ਸਕਤ ਕਰ ਸਿਫਤ ਤੁਮਾਰੀ ਆਪ ਲੇਹੋ ਤੁਮ ਕਥਾ ਸੁਧਾਰੀ। ਮੂਖ ਉਚਰੈ ਸ਼ਾਸਤਰ ਖਟ ਪਿੰਗ ਗਿੜਨ ਚਰ ਜਾਏ। ਅੰਧ ਲਖੈ ਬਦਰੋ ਸੁਣੈ ਜੋ ਕਾਲ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਾਏ। ਬਾਣੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੁਰੂ ਹੈ ਬਾਣੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਾਣੀ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸਾਰੇ। ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਕਹਿ ਸੇਵਕ ਜਨ ਮਾਨੈ ਪ੍ਰਤੱਖ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਿਸਤਾਰੇ। ਡੰਡੌਤ ਬੰਧਨ ਅਨੇਕ ਬਾਰ ਸਰਬ ਕਲਾ ਸਮਰੱਥ। ਡੋਲਣ ਤੇ ਰਾਖੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਕਰ ਹੱਥ। ਡੋਲਣ ਤੇ ਰਾਖੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਕਰ ਹੱਥ।
ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਸੋਰਠ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਨਾਵਾ। ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ। ਰੇ ਮਨ ਰਾਮ ਸੋ ਕਰ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸ਼ਰਵਣ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਗੁਣ ਸੁਨੋ ਅਰ ਗਾਓ ਰਸਨਾ ਗੀਤ। ਰੇ ਮਨ ਰਾਮ ਸੋ ਕਰ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸ਼ਰਵਣ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਗੁਣ ਸੁਨੋ ਅਰ ਗਾਓ ਰਸਨਾ ਗੀਤ। ਰਹਾਉ ਕਰ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਸਿਮਰ ਮਾਧੋ ਹੋਹਿ ਪਤਿਤ ਪੁਨੀਤ। ਕਾਲ ਬਿਆਲ ਜੋ ਪਰਿਓ ਡੋਲੈ ਮੁਖ ਪਸਾਰੇ ਮੀਤ। ਆਜ ਕਾਲ ਫੁਨ ਤੋਹਿ ਗ੍ਰਸ ਹੈ ਸਮਝ ਰਾਖੋ ਚੀਤ। ਕਹਿ ਨਾਨਕ ਰਾਮ ਭਜ ਲੈ ਜਾਤ ਅਵਸਰ ਬੀਤ। ਰੇ ਮਨ ਰਾਮ ਸੋ ਕਰ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ।
ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਸਾਜੀ ਨੇਵਾਜੀ। ਗੁਰੂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀਓ ਸੇ ਇਨ ਦ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਆਫ ਧੰਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ the all-powerful, the all-knowing Guru, Dhan Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, le Shahid Guru Fateh, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. We are very fortunate to be spending time in the company of Dhan Satguru Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj on a weekly basis, reflecting on the teachings of Dhan Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj, the ninth Guru, through their Gurbani, their contribution to Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, from the start of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj to the end, from 1 to 1430 Ango of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. When we refer to the pages of any book, any normal book, or any writings, those pages, whatever writings written on them, is respect-worthy. It doesn't matter what type of knowledge it is. If it contains knowledge that is going to make you become a better person, a better individual, then it's okay. But the most highest respect, the most loftiest respect goes to the writings contained in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. These writings are the instructions for us to meet with God directly. I'll repeat that again. These instructions that are written in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj are there to help us meet with God directly. On that journey of meeting with God, at some point in your lives, you will come across the respect of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, or what we call the Adab Sadkar. So, normal books have normal pages in them, but they're still respect-worthy because they possess knowledge. So we wouldn't do anything disrespectful to those normal books. For example, you wouldn't put your feet on a book. That is seen as disrespectful. That is seen as whatever's contained in that book, you're not going to receive the knowledge of it. You're not going to get the full worth of that book, whatever it's teaching us. When we have books in our school bags, or if we have like school clothing and stuff like that, some schools will have lockers. You have trays in school which have books in them, primary schools. In this country, they don't really teach you the respect of books as such. You have to learn the aspect of respect, of knowledge, through our culture, through our parents and our great forefathers and mothers. So Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, although it does have pages in it, we don't refer to these pages as pages. We refer to them as the limbs. Limbs are arms and your legs. They're your limbs, aren't they? So just as those limbs have like pores of skin on them where hairs come from, similarly on these Ang of Maharaj, or these limbs of Maharaj, you have the word of Gurbani, which are like something that teaches us about case. It's our duty as Sikhs to keep our case. It's our duty as parents to educate our children to keep their case. The meaning of case, when you write it in Punjabi, Kakke la sasa. Kakke la means head, sir. And sasa on its own there stands for beauty or sundarata. So the meaning of that is the head of beauty. That's what case actually means, just in the letters. But case also tell us about a very important message in Gurbani, which we hear in Japji Sahib. In the second verse of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, or the second verse of Japji Sahib after Mool Mantar, there's a line at the end which says, Hukum Rajai Chalana Nanak likhya naal. Which means that whatever is going to happen in this world, whatever is going to happen, whatever has happened in the will of Vaheguru. And you can take that will in two ways. You can take it in a negative way or a positive way. If you take it in a negative way, we may take longer to get away from that pain, that worry, whatever it brought us, that understanding. It may take us time to get to that place. But if you take the route that our case reminds us that we should not cut it, so keep it as it is from day one. If every religion in this world, or if any person born into any faith, any child born anywhere in this world, kept their case just as normal, the parents kept it for them, they would resemble a Sikh. They would resemble the form that Vaheguru wished us to be. So case, in a physical sense, tell us about living in the will of God and accepting the will of God. And then you have, like we said, if the limbs of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, I don't like saying pages, but we're saying it so we can understand it. If the limbs of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj have pores of skin where gaze are coming out of it, then the words of Guru Granth Sahib Ji on these limbs are like the case, and they are telling us how to live in the will of God. They're teaching us how to get to God. They're teaching us what we call hukum. Hukum manna. Hukum palana. So, in the past few weeks, we've been learning a little bit about Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj's history, as well as Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj's reflections for us going ahead this week. If we sit in the Sangat and you put into practice what Maharaj tells us to reflect on, you're going to get blessings. But the effect of actually being here, you get hidden blessings as well. So I'll give an example. This Katha might be going on YouTube in a few days' time. And if somebody thought, I'll just watch it on YouTube, I won't go today to the Gurdwara, they'll get that blessing of the instruction, but they won't actually get the hidden blessing that Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji were going to give coming from the Sangat, sitting in the company of Maharaj. So, the background of these Shabads, so we've got to the Sorath chapter of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Each chapter, there are 62 chapters of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. 31 what we call rags, they're all based on musical compositions. 31 rags and then 31 mixed rags as well. So within a rag, you have like a double rag, like we have Gauri Purvi Mahalla Panjwa or Gauri Maj, like they're different kind of combinations. But Sorath rag comes towards the middle of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, and it's a very motivating rag. It's a very, it's a rag associated with motivational instruction. So what is Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj blessing us in this first Shabad? Just to give you context as to where Maharaj recited this Shabad, I'm going to give you the context of where Maharaj actually recited it. In India, recently on the media, you might have heard of the Kumbh Mela, a massive gathering of people in India, loads of Hindu people, people of different denominations, Jains, Hindus, even Sikhs, who went to this Kumbh Mela. It appears every 12 years. And at that Kumbh, you have two physical rivers that form an estuary. Basically, they combine. Mythologically or spiritually, they say that there's actually three rivers there. There's the Ganga, the Ganges, the Jamuna, and you have one called the Saraswati. The Saraswati is considered to be the hidden river. So this kind of auspicious place, there was a king a long, long time ago. He used to live in that area, and he thought he would get people to come together on a certain time, a certain day, saints of India, to discuss spirituality, to explain spirituality to people, and so forth. So effectively what they were engaging was this, sitting in Sangat, listening to Vichar. Katha hundi si uthe. There was Katha going on. Over time, because Katha was going on, langar vi chalne hain, because Sangat are coming, people are going to eat, places to stay are going to be built because people wanted to stay there for a while, and so forth. Over time, Hardly, the religious aspect started to get less and less and less. And now it's kind of become a very different affair. Very different affair. It happens every 12 years. The place where it happens is a city. In the past, it was called Prague or Prayag. Another name before it was called Trebeni, the three rivers meeting together. When the Mughals came, they invaded India obviously, they changed the names of loads of cities. They changed it from Prague to Allahabad. They put Allah in front of it. And then obviously it's got changed back recently to Prague again. So Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj have gone to Prayag. Now this is an important place. At this place, when Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj arrived, there was, last week we shared that Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj had left Sri Anandpur Sahib and decided to go on a yatra, on a pilgrimage basically, across the whole of India. The pilgrimage was actually just a bahana, just an excuse. Because what Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji wanted to do really was they wanted to satisfy the desires of Sikhs in different cities across India. They wanted to go and meet them, give prem to them, take them out of dukh and sukh, the cycle of it, and attach them to Gurbani, attach them to Simran, and so forth. So when they got to Prayag, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj stood right at the river edge, where the two rivers met. They looked and they saw that one of the rivers was quite black, the Ganga river was, at that time as well. The Jamuna was a bit of a white colour. And Maharaj, at that point, decided that they wanted to make an asana there. They wanted to sit there. So obviously the Sikhs with Maharaj, Mata Gujar Kaur Ji, the mother, Mata Nanki Ji, the wife, Mata Gujar Kaur Ji, they were all with Maharaj, and loads of Sikhs, Mama Kripal Chand Ji, who was Mata Gujar Kaur's brother, so Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji's brother-in-law. They were all with loads of other Sikhs. There were so many saints, because from Anandpur Sahib, which is in Punjab, they're going basically towards the east, towards Patna Sahib. But this place was particularly important because this is where Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji Maharaj is conceived. So Prayag or Trebeni is the place where Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji Maharaj come into this world basically. So, when Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj came to the edge of the river, the Sikhs put asan, a sheet on the floor. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj sat on it. Before you knew it, so many people started coming, and because they were full of sachai and full of such, their aura was such that so many people started coming to pay their respects straight away. Matha Tek Diya Sangat. Even the Brahmins of the Hindu faith, they came. And Maharaj is giving unlimited wealth to everyone. Jinna bhi paisa hai na, Maharaj ne dei ande sare anu. Whether it's Brahmins, obviously in that place, the Brahmins got excited. So they told everyone ke Maharaj ta khulla daan de rahe ne. And what happened basically, on the edge of Prayag, Maharaj is doing Vichar Gurbani, And you've also got langar going on, and Guru Sahib are spreading the pyar of Gursikhi in that area. So when this Shabd was recited, and actually the next 9 Shabds were all recited in this place by Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj. She gave 9 or 10 different instructions to the Sangat of Prayag at that time about how to live their life and what's important, what's a priority for us, and so forth. When the Brahmins would come, or when a worshipper of Shivji would come, they wouldn't see Guru Tegh Bahadur sitting there, they would see Shivji sitting there. When Sikhs would come, they'd see Guru Nanak Dev Ji sitting there. When like the Vishnu followers, we call Vaishnavas, they came, they would see Vishnu Bhagwan sitting there. So Maharaj was giving darshan to everyone in their required level of thinking. And then Maharaj would give them spiritual instruction on how to improve their lives. So Maharaj, look how powerful Maharaj are. Like, if you think about it, Samrat Guru, they're the all powerful Guru. And that same all powerful Guru is here today within the words. That's what we don't realize. If we can even get an akh or an eye of being able to see Guru Sahib in the way those people at that time saw Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj, maybe we'll be very fortunate. Then Maharaj, that same day, can you imagine, Maharaj, they're saying in history it states that the langar was going on from the moment Maharaj came and said, langar lao, shuru karo. They started the langar. Maharaj did Ishnan in the river. And then Maharaj came back and Maharaj said, now we're going to move on. So as they're giving instructions throughout the day, Maharaj said, towards the end of the day, they're saying, we're going to move on. And then all the Sangat, Sikhs, Brahmins, everyone came to Maharaj and said, Maharaj, please, Bentiya, we've never seen anyone like you in our lifetime. We've never heard anyone speak the words that you're saying. They're kind of stringing us like like pearls. We don't understand. Like, you've got an amazing aura, a pratap. Can you please stay? Maharaj said, there's so many other tirthas we want to go to. And the Sangat said, Maharaj, you know the tirthas, these pilgrimage places, they've actually become places of bab. They've become places of sin because people actually don't go there with the right intentions. When we go to, like, say, Darbar Sahib, or we go to India, we go to Kesgarh Sahib, at that asthan, do we actually do seva? That's the first question. Do we actually do any seva at that asthan? Because when you go to these places, the whole point is that you get, these are like energized places where somebody has sat and done bhajan, somebody has spread the name of God or recited Naam in some form. And we don't take advantage of that moment. I remember Mahapurkh that we used to see in the past, Baba Thakur Singh Ji, saying this to many Singhs at that time. They said one month seva here in the UK, if you did 1 day's seva at Darbar Sahib, that's the equivalent of fal you get, like the rewards you get. Can you imagine that? Kinni pavitra dharti hogi ho, how pure that place must be. It to jade bhi hoga. It must be even more than that. So when all these Sikhs came to Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj, and all these Brahmins and everyone sat before Maharaj and said, Maharaj, please stay. We want you to stay. Maharaj then agreed. They sent Mata Nanaki Ji and Mata Gujar Kaur Ji they provided a kind of like a mansion, like a haveli for Guru Sahib to stay in. In the night, Maharaj would go to the haveli, and then during the day, Maharaj would come and sit on the edge of the river and just do prachar, just talk about Gursikhi, Gurshabd, the vichar of Gursikhi, how to meet with God. The kind of vichar that we're going to hear today. And during that vichar, obviously people had a chance to talk and communicate with the Guru and ask questions. And one of the questions that was asked is the reason behind Maharaj giving this shabd, this first shabd. And the question was, how do we form love with God? Aapa Vaheguru na priti kiddan pa sakde hain? You know, recently there's this a saint who wears yellow in India. I think his name Premanand ji. So many people go to see him, and they do dialogue with him and stuff like that. And people ask questions about how they can find Vaheguru and stuff like that. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj heard the question of the Sangat at that time, and they gave this reply. But the way they did it was so humble that they instructed themselves. They didn't say it to them directly. This is the beauty of the Guru. When somebody gives you an upadesh, an instruction, a spiritual instruction, they will never say to you, the most highest saint will never say to you, कि मैं दा कहना या मैं दा कहना तेनू करनो. They will do it in such a way where they say, I'm nothing, I don't know anything, मैंने तो कुछ पता नहीं. They'll do it in a slanted way with थानू पता भी लग जाऊगा, but they'll preserve their humility as well. Even Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji is the 9th Guru Nanak. And they are the former, where Aap Narayan Kalatar Jag Mein Parivarday, Vaheguru on earth, walking the creator of this whole multi-universe that we're in. But not a universe, can they? Multi one gaya. But like, Maharaj is the creator of everything. And they're the 9th form. So what does Maharaj, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj share with them? Let's listen and reflect on the teachings of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj.
Satnam Sri Vaheguru Sahib Ji Sorath Mahalla Nawa.
Dhan Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj in Sorath Rag give us a blessing after the question from the Sikhs, how do we form love with God?
Ek Oankar Satgur Prasad.
One Akal Purkh Vaheguru, who is the illuminator of every single thing or item in this world, and who is realized for the grace of the true Guru, Dhan Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj.
Reman Ram Seokar Preet.
Look how much guising they're doing, look how much humility they have. Reman, they're saying to their own mind. The answer is in here, in this question, they say, Ram Seokar Preet. Kende ke he mere man, Parmeshwar naal, oh my mind, make or have love with God. Develop your love with God. How do you develop it?
Sravana Govind Gun Sano Argao Rasana Geeta.
So the first thing that you have to do is listen. Sravan. Sravan kende kanna nu. Do kan hunde a. So there's 2 items that you need to have. Sharda te Vishwash. You've got to have a devotion or like a pyar that you actually want to listen. And then you've got to have trust that whatever you've been told is going to get you to Vaheguru. Sometimes we have to keep listening to develop both of those qualities. Because some people will have the love, but not the trust. Some people will have the trust, but then not the love. But that's why you come and listen, because to make that union with Vaheguru, you have to have both. Dono hi cheezain chahidiyan. So the ears have to be of devotion, of pyar, love, and of trust in the instruction of Vaheguru. This is how you develop love with God. Sravana Gobind. What's Gobind stand for there? Go also means the creator of the universe. Bind means all these people who are walking around, every single person, individual there is, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਲਾਈਟ ਚਮਕਦੀ ਆ, in every single thing there's a jyot or an energy of God in some way, shape or form. Even patthar have it. We don't realize it, even they have it. They have potential. We have kinesthetic mainly. So ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ energy is in every single individual. ਸਾਰਿਆਂ 'ਚ ਉਹ. Amara says, listen to that energy in everyone. So ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਾੜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਚੰਗੇ ਗੁਣ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ. A bad individual sometimes have good qualities as well. You know, when it becomes difficult to understand how a bad, person being so bad, negative, sometimes you just have to separate that and just think of the good. Because oh Parameshwarya, that good quality, that comes from a source, comes from Vaheguru. The negative qualities come from our own mindsets and our perspectives. It's what we've experienced and what we've built up as a result. So, the other meaning of Gobind is the scriptures. So, whatever the teaching of the scripture, because this is Parayag, there's Brahmins there, there's people who are very knowledgeable individuals. They're not like normal type individuals, they're scholars of their own texts. So, Maharaj is saying, whatever you read, have faith in it, trust it. But what are you going to trust? Not the outwardness, not the things that everyone else can do in this world. Most easiest thing that anyone can do in this world, you can find it on Google, like khana pina chadna, all those, gym jana, all those things anyone can do in this world. Par baith ke naam japna, who can do that? Who can sit down and actually recite naam? That's what the core teaching Maharaj is saying. So when Maharaj said to these guys that if you want to develop love for God, whatever you read in Gurbani, when you do part, have trust and faith in it. Have trust in faith that the Naam bit of your scriptures is important. That's the most important thing. So, Sravan Gobind, Gun Suno, Maharaj says, where they talk about good qualities, where your scriptures tell you about how to meet with Vaheguru, focus on those qualities. And not just focus on them, start transforming yourself. Start making plans. Okay, yeah, all right, I need to probably practice a little bit more humility. How can I do that? And when you come to Sangat, you'll get the answers. That's the key. When you reflect properly, you'll get every answer. Every single day from the Katha, you'll get the answer. Every single day from the Hukamnama, Maharaj will tell you your way. And everyone's path is individual, isn't it? Everyone's in the personal journeys. Saravana Gobind, Gonasano, and then with your jeeb, with your tongue, Maharaj says, do something important. Argao Rasana Geet. Praise Vaheguru with your tongue. So, talk about Vaheguru, praise him. Praise Vaheguru. You know when we do Ardas, we come in front of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, we bang, 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 bang. Maharaj job kar de, kar da masla, Maharaj this, Maharaj that, straight. We lay them down to Maharaj, don't we? But and sometimes we might be thinking, "Main land piche jade vaddi ya, shayad the line behind me is growing. People are looking at me. What am I doing?" We might be thinking that as well. But Maharaj at that time, stand before Maharaj, praise him. Maharaj, you know me inside and out. You are the inner know of everyone's hearts. You are so lofty, you're so high, you're everywhere. You will only do pala for me in all ways. Your hukam is the hardest to man, but I'm prepared to man it. Praise them. When you praise Vaheguru and then at the end, I guarantee you, your ardas that you came with, you might even have forgot that. But if it hasn't forgotten, we naal add kar de, those ardasan like Maharaj will just fulfill. Because we don't praise Maharaj. Remember, to meet with Vaheguru, you have to converse with them, you have to talk to them. You have to have that conversation with them. Saravana Gobind Guna Suno Argao Rasna Geet. So, with your ears, have trust and faith in the instruction of reciting the name of God, and then with your tongue praise Vaheguru, Maharaj then says something.
Rahao.
Maharaj says pause and think, because that is what Maharaj's reply was to that question. That was the ultimate answer. And you know, when people like myself will need probably an hour or two to praise Vaheguru and get the actual point across. But a spiritual being can do it in 30 seconds or 10 seconds, even 5 seconds with one instruction. And in Sari Sangat Vasta, the people who accumulated at that time, Maharaj said, to develop love with God, listen, have faith in the teachings, follow the teachings, have faith in the teachings, and then praise God. And that's it. How simple is that path? Reflect on it this week for our time ahead. And then Maharaj is giving extra jnana, knowledge, to boost our understanding.
Kar sadh sangat simr madho hohe patat paneet.
And Maharaj said one further action that's very, very important if you're doing those things is to come into the Sadh Sangat. This is the Sadh Sangat. Coming to the Sadh Sangat is ultimately the most important thing. Don't matter how much jap tap you're doing, sitting at your homes, don't know how much spiritual effort you're putting in, you have to come here and get the cherry on top from Maharaj. You know, you have a cake, bake it, but then you put decoration on it, put fruit on it and stuff, it looks better, doesn't it? Yeah? You're baking the cake when you're sitting at home doing your own sift, but the decoration, the extra kirpa, the blessings you receive when you come to Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. So uthe kirpa hundi hai. Either your hankar is going to drop down, the ego is going to get attacked, because you thought maybe at that time, let's just say for example, you started doing 10 Japji Sahibs, let's just say that, a day. And then you come to the Gurdwara and you decide to wait 3 or 4 hours. And there's a Khand Path Sahib going on. And the person who's sitting on the Japji Sahib roll has been sitting for 4 hours. And then you think, gosh, I don't sit like that and do Japji Sahib 4 hours. So hankar kithe gaya? Your spiritual progress. That's the way Maharaj works. We will always be brought down, always, when you're on the spiritual level, on that spiritual path. So Maharaj says, Kar sadh sangat simra madho. So when you come into the sangat, remember Vaheguru. And madho means Mayadipati. So you know the illusion of this world? The person who created this illusion was God themselves, Vaheguru. It's like a test. So Maharaj is saying, worship the person who created the test, rather than the test itself. Maharaj said, Kar sadh sangat simar madho hohe patat paneet. So if you remember Vaheguru in this way, fir tusi aap inne pavitra ho jaonge, like you become so pure yourself that you'll make others pure. If you consider yourself to be sinful and full of paap, you will become paneet. You will become the opposite, total opposite.
Kal vyal jo parayo dole mokham pasare meet.
And Maharaj gives a warning and urgency, and somebody might find this example a bit odd, but this is the way Maharaj works. Kal, death, Beal, sap, you know, cobras, snakes. When they are in like attack mode, they raise their hood. When they raise their hood, the mouth is open, they bare the teeth, and you can see the teeth, obviously, you can see the tongue, and you can see the bottom jaw of teeth as well, and it opens its fan as well, so it opens its fan as well. And then it swerves, isn't it? It moves from one side to another. So Maharaj is saying that death is like the snake. So just like a snake has got 2 jaws, similarly, in a year, you've got 2 sets of 6 months. Then you've got the bottom set of teeth, and it is said that some snakes will have up to 80 to 100 teeth. Kende aata, scientists. And they say that people, if you imagine how many days are in that, the months, the metaphor Maharaj is giving, that death can come at any time, any moment, any sama, any minute, basically. And the way they've explained it is the sap with this open teeth, the teeth representing the first 6 months, second 6 months, then the seasons, then the days, the months, the days, and so forth, breaking it down. And then paryo dole. When it opens its mouth and did dole dayas up, it doesn't just attack one type of individual. It will attack a child, it will attack any age basically. Pame buzurg hove, pame gabru hove, pame niyana hove, bacha hove. So it doesn't differentiate. Death can come at any time, to any person, anyone. Maharaj is saying, this is the urgency. Kal byal jo paryo dole, mukh pasare meet. Mukh, the meaning is that imagine death standing above us like that at all times. That's what we've got to imagine. Straight away when we think that, well, dar nahi lagda. People that pehle nahi darde sappan to, yeah? People think, no, I don't want to be any reptiles. Yeah? But imagine death is like that reptile. They dare hove, kithe bhajana hai? Where do we go? Who do we go to? We go to the person who conquered death, whose Gursikhs conquered death. Tegh, Bahadur, they couldn't be beheaded. They conquered that, didn't they? The head appeared in Bhai Jetaji's joli, didn't it? When they sacrificed everything for the sake of everyone's faith. They conquered death. They're the creator of it. So, Maharaj kende a ke mukh pasare meet. But look what Maharaj is saying. Meet, my friend, listen. I'm giving you this instruction. I'm giving you this teaching. Maharaj is saying to us, you are my friends. Listen. Death can come at any time. It can affect us at any time. Do your bhajan. Develop your love for God. Today or tomorrow, thanu vi far lena aine. Samajh rakho cheet. Keep it in your mind that death is that close. Hun je banda sochda hai, you know, like the best kind of thing I can think of. If you watch something or read something about a person who had terminal disease, or when they were about to pass away, like what did they try to do in the last few years, the last few months? Or what's the thinking for them and what's priority for them in their life at that time? Banda sochda hai na, where am I going to go after this? What am I going to do? What do I need to do to actually be content? Jehde siyane purus hunde a, oh bhajan karde a. Maharaj kirpa karde a. But Maharaj says, have this urgency in our minds.
Kaha nanak ram bhajle, jat avsar beet.
Jat avsar beet, your age is running away, you're getting older. Maharaj says, Kaha nanak ram bhajle, simran kar lo. So in this first Shabad, the Maharaj has given us plenty of instructions, haven't they? About how to form love with God. Listen with faith and devotion and love. And then when you listen, have faith in the instructions of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. And then attend the Sangat and get further teachings, because by doing that, your love with God will forever grow. But keep in mind that the amount of breaths in your body that were written in this life have already been decided. Maran lakhaye mandal mein aaye. So they already know the time, place, and the jaga. The time, the place, and the method of you're going to go from this world. They already know that, Vaheguru. The fact is, we don't know it. But we should think of it. We should remember it, because kuch bhi ho sakta any time.
Sorath mahalla nawa.
Then Maharaj continues with the next Shabd, and it's a very similar theme. Can you imagine someone who passes away, who hasn't kind of developed the love for God, and they've still got worldly thoughts in their mind? They're not detached. And this is what Maharaj is saying. Man ki, man hi mahe rahi. Jiri man di gal si, the thing that was in your mind when you were about to pass away, you couldn't actually, it was too late for you to actually correct it. Bhajan nahi kita, te uthe tak hi reh gayi ye gal. Maharaj said, don't let it get to that point, basically. That's what they're trying to say. At that last moment, don't have that regret or repentance. कि मैं कुछ नहीं कीता, भजन नहीं कीता. I've had so many own experiences, family members who never did bhajan and simran in their life. I used to go and tell them, Chacha ji kar lo, gurdwara jaya karo, whatever. And then right at the end, jab sareer inna tang hoya at hospital, the day before passing away, they'll turn around and say, मैं कुछ नहीं कीता, मैनू करना चाहिदा सी. And the next day they passed away. That repentance at that last moment, okay, I didn't do what I needed to do, what I was sent here for. So Maharaj is saying, man ki man hi mahe rahi, don't be in that situation basically, where we're just left with that kind of churna, that kind of doubt, okay, oh, I didn't actually do what the aim of my life was to do.
Na har bhaje na tirth seve choti kaal gahi.
Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਨਾ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਦਾ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕੀਤਾ, neither did you remember ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, ਨਾ ਤੀਰਥ ਸੇਵੇ, neither did you go to a religious place and do seva there. So people go on yatra. If you have never been on a yatra, go to a yatra. That's the first starting point. Yatra means when you go to Darbar Sahib, when you go to Anandpur Sahib, when you go to Amritsar Sahib, when you go to Patna Sahib, you see the Gurdwara in India, go to them first. That's the starting point. If you've already been, then start elongating it. So when you go next time, uthe bhajan karo baith ke, uthe simran karo for a few days. Take your time there. Spend more than one day there. Do seva in the langar. Spend 40 days doing seva at Darbar Sahib. In this country, we don't get a chance, do we? But if you go to like Punjab, even now, they go from their villages and they go and do seva for 40, 50 days. Lagatar. Some people do 6 months. Some people then decide to stay there forever. Don't want to come back. And it happens. Sari jindagi udhar chal jandi hai of seva. So Maharaj is saying, na har bhaje, neither have we done simran, na tirth seve. And then the next quality after that is, this is a tirth as well. The biggest tirth is Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. After all that's an external pilgrimage, isn't it? Our regular and daily pilgrimage is doing seva of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Coming into the company of Maharaj. Doing simran at home, remembering Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Vaheguru Simran, Mool Mantar. That is seva of Vaheguru as well, of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ na har bhaje na tirth seve choti kaal gahi. Choti means the top of your hair. Kaal means death. Gahi, grabbed. Like Maharaj said about the snake example, Maharaj is saying, in the end, if you just spent your life worthlessly like that, without doing service like that in the community, doing seva in the sangat, then death will pull you at any time. They'll take you. So Maharaj says, pause and reflect. This is what the central context of this, both of these two Shabads has been, hasn't it? That be aware of where you are, what time it is, and what you need to do to make this life successful.
Dara meet poot rath sampat tan puran sab mahi.
Dara, wife, or obviously in a context today, your partner. Dara, meet, friends, poot, son or children. Rath, in those days it was chariots. Chariots in those days were the two-wheeled or four-wheeled. So you can, in today's days, motorcycles. Sampat means elephants and big vehicles, gudde in the old days. Nowadays, the big jeeps, big Land Rovers and so forth, big cars, bigger cars, performance cars. Dara, meet, poot, rath, sampat, tan. Mahaprabhu, when they did the arth of this, described tan. Normally it means wealth. But in this, they called it rokadi. And I looked up the word, I was thinking, what does rokadi mean? Never heard that word before. And when I looked at it, rokadi means anything with a deed on it. So anything with your name on it, on a deed, like property. Maharaj says, Puran Sab Mehi. So all your property with your name on it, Tan, Puran Sab Mehi. Maharaj says, everything encapsulated in all those things mentioned.
Avar sagal mithya e jano padma ram ko sahi.
Maharaj says you have to perceive all these things in a certain way. So when we say perceive them, you have to look at them in a different way. before this teaching, perhaps we look at them in a different way. We look at them, oh yeah, I love him, it's my son, I love her, she's my daughter, I've got this house, I'm okay, I'm doing well, I've got this job, I've got this, I've got that, I've got the car, I've got this. You know, we put our things that we do own or have in front. But Maharaj is saying, change your perception of that. And the perception Maharaj is saying, avar sagal mithya e jano. Maharaj says, just see them as just here for a few days. They're kade aunde hai, kade jande hai. They're not the real thing. They're not permanent. They're just going to remain. They're just going to be there. So Maharaj is lifting our attachments to the worldliness and building our kind of like solidity and resilience in spirituality. That's what we've got to think. None of us here sitting in Sangat are going to go and say, Mum, Dad, tusi kaun hai? Main nahi janada thanu. If you did that, that's the amazing thing. But like, none of us are going to go out of our house and go and sit in scrapped off countryside under a tree and start doing bhajan simran. None of us have got the guts to do that. Although the thought does come to your mind loads of times, doesn't it? But like, no one's going to get rid of your car straight away. I don't care about it. What Maharaj is trying to tell us is just cut the attachment to it. Just cut the attachment to it. It's not as important as what you think it might be. There's more available to you spiritually. That's what we got. And what we were talking about before, have trust and have pyar for the teachings of Maharaj. And this is where the trust comes in, doesn't it? You have to have that trust, develop that trust. And you can only develop it here. Nowhere else. You can only develop it in the Sangha. Maharaj said, Avara sagala mithya e jano. And then what's right then? What's the right thing? What's the real thing then that counts? Maharaj said, Bhajan Ram ko sahi. Sahi chi jidi the right thing is the worship of Vaheguru, the meditation of his name or their name, Vaheguru's name, the recitation of Gurbani. That is the real thing. Remembering God is the real thing. Maharaj is saying, you don't actually see how far you've come. We are born, we think, okay, my life this time, mera naam Kuljit Singh si. You're born, go to school, you're brought up and stuff, and you keep your cash, you go to college, university, padde hain, vyah hunda, bacche hunde, sara badda ho janda, kaam milda, whatever it is. We don't realize that actually before that there was so much more. Like pehle janman tak there was so much more going on. Kinne lifetimes. Maharaj says, Firte bahute jug haryo. Maharaj says, aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of the coming back again and again and again? This is the quality of the Guru, because they can see it all, we can't see it. Sanu desda nahi hai. Una nu desda hai sab kuch. We can't see it. They can even see what's coming ahead. Sab kuch desda. Just to finish off, after Guru Maharaj went from Anandpur Sahib, they went to a village called Mullowal. And when they got to Mullowal village, two Gursikhs called Maiya and Gondaji, they came to Maharaj. And Maharaj, obviously, they've been traveling with the family and loads of other Gursikhs. This is before they got to Prayag. Maharaj said, we want something to drink and we need some food. We were very thirsty and hungry. It's our culture in India that if somebody comes from outside a village and they need a place to stay or a place to eat, Dharmashalas used to hold these places. So in villages, people would eat there and drink, and anyone could stay there overnight. Custom si sada, ravaja. And then what happened, the Maiya ji and Gondaji did a benti, said, Maharaj, we've got a problem. And Maharaj said, what's the problem? They said, the well that we have in the village is salinated. It's full of salt. It's not drinkworthy. There's stones, pebbles, and thorns and all sorts growing in it. And we have to go further out the village we have to go to quite far. The whole village relies on one well, and we can't get the water out. Maharaj says, koi na, pani mitha hoga, thanda hoga. Maharaj said, pani will be sweet, the pani will be cold, clean it. They took out the stones and thorns, pani na vadiya nikalya thon. Maharaj drank it first, Maya ji, Gonda ji drank the water as well. And then utte jai jaikar hogi. Like, you know, everyone got excited, like Bani chal paya. Whole village came, paid respects and everything. Maharaj stayed there for 3-4 days. Despite seeing all that, despite seeing what Guruji had just done, Gonda, he did seva from the outset, like from the outside, but inside he had no kind of intention to. He was like almost like he was forced to in a way. He felt like he wasn't giving it 110%. And Maharaj spotted it. Maharaj saw that he's not actually doing seva with his full intention. Then Maharaj looked forward into the whole family. Sara kuch dekhya aage, like what's going on, what's going to happen within his family and everything, how it's going to affect the village. Maharaj got a committee together of villagers. The really poor villagers, Maharaj gave them all the stara, made them into like the Prabandha committee for the whole village. Obviously, Gonda was like distressed. Like, how come I'm the one who's Sardar? I'm the one who jada main banda si te, you know, sara kuch mil gaya. But what I'm trying to say is that when we do seva, when we do Simran, do it with full intention. And before you maybe do the seva, think, how am I going to give my full intention to it? How am I going to be able to do it without any distractions? Give full intention to it. Maharaj said, Firat baute jug haryo manas de lahi. After traveling many lifetimes, finally you get this manukha dehi, you get this body. And in this body you can remember Vaheguru. Pai parapat manukh de huriya gomand milan ki ehe teri bariya. Guru Sikhs read it every day in Rehras that you've been given this human body to remember Vaheguru. Avar kaaj tera kitna kaam. You've got no other task to do really. That's the main task. Maharaj says, okay, this is actually the time for you to meet Vaheguru. So sense of urgency again. Simrat kaha nahi. Why don't you do Simran? That's it. So in summarizing everything, Maharaj has broken down how to form love with God and given us teachings. And we all individually need to look at what we need to do to develop that and have that sense of urgency and have that 110% commitment in it. Please forgive our mistakes. And we will, just to mention, the next bank holiday weekend coming, there won't be any Katha on the Sunday because every year normally we go to Seek to Inspire camp, which is normally held in North Wales. And it's basically about 5 or 6 days of just being immersed in this kind of thing. It's open to all ages, families. Doesn't matter if you're Gursikh or not. It's open to everyone. You will feel the love given to you at that place. There'll be so much you can do with the children. There's a kids camp going on there. There's workshops and lessons. There's, you know, everything is done so that you develop your love and affection for Gursikhi and develop that love with Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. There's other great Gursikhs, esteemed Gursikhs from around the country who will explain talks in English, just like we do. They explain the Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. So it's a perfect opportunity. If you aren't signed up, do go onto the website and check it out. Seek to Inspire. Seek is written S-I-K-H, the number 2, Inspire. And they've been doing seva many years. Pullan Chukandi Khema Ji. Let's say the Akhri Pangti and finish off. Firat baute jug haryo manas deh lahi nanak kahat milan ki bariya simrat kaha nahi. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.